Have you ever paused amidst the hustle and bustle of life to wonder if those around you truly value you, not through sweet words or fleeting promises, but through the actions they show toward you? Stoic philosophy reminds us that the true worth of a relationship does not lie in superficial glitter, but in the depth of respect and how we are treated. Recognizing disrespectful behavior is not only about protecting yourself from harm, but also about affirming your intrinsic value and choosing relationships that genuinely uplift and nurture your soul. Respect is the foundation, the cornerstone of any meaningful relationship. When it is absent, even the strongest walls can crumble, revealing an uncomfortable truth. Those who disregard you do not truly care about you. It's a hard lesson, but a necessary one for building a life rooted in relationships that truly matter. Today, we will delve into 8 common behaviors of people who don't genuinely care about you through the lens of Stoic philosophy. Leave a comment saying, "Listening to myself," to begin the journey of recognizing the first signs. Are you ready to uncover these truths? Let's begin. Number 1. Self-centeredness. Selfishness in relationships is like a shadow that swallows the light. It takes without giving, leaving us in emotional darkness. This idea reminds us to cherish our own time and energy. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." In relationships, this statement highlights the importance of surrounding yourself with people who reciprocate respect and care, rather than those who drain your spirit. Everyone deserves relationships built on mutual care and respect. You deserve to be appreciated for your presence and contributions. When someone is consistently absent, it's a clear sign to reflect. Their absence is not just an empty space. It's a valuable lesson about the worth of your time and energy. When you recognize your value, you'll understand that waiting for someone to prioritize you is an injustice to yourself. True care is an act of presence. It's not found in empty promises or superficial gestures, but in the consistency of those willing to show up for you. Picture a friend who remembers even your smallest achievements and stands by you during your toughest times. Compare that to someone who only texts occasionally but disappears when you need them most. The latter reveals the emptiness in the relationship, while the former demonstrates genuine care. By making room for people who truly value you, you build meaningful connections that strengthen you rather than deplete you. In a relationship dominated by selfishness, imbalance is inevitable. A selfish person always prioritizes their needs above all else, often masking this with outwardly kind actions. They might remember your birthday, but fail to show empathy when you confide in them. This behavior, however subtle, erodes the sincerity of the relationship. A true relationship requires balance, a give and take that enriches both sides. When this balance is absent, one person becomes emotionally drained, bearing the weight of a one-sided connection. Consider the story of Emma, a young woman full of energy and deeply dedicated to her friendship with Sarah. Emma was always the one initiating meetups, listening and supporting Sarah through her struggles. However, when Emma went through a tough period in her life, Sarah was nowhere to be found. She frequently cancelled plans at the last minute and redirected conversations to her own issues. Whenever Emma tried to open up, Sarah was unavailable. After months of feeling undervalued, Emma realized she was wasting energy on a relationship that brought no value. Inspired by Stoic philosophy, she decided to let go of the toxic friendship. Emma redirected her energy toward building relationships with people who genuinely cared for her, finding joy and balance in connections founded on mutual appreciation. One-sided relationships can drain your energy, leaving you feeling unappreciated and emotionally exhausted. They reveal an undeniable truth. You are not the other person's priority. Recognizing this isn't about fostering resentment, but gaining clarity. By understanding the negativity of selfishness, you can step away with self-respect, making room for healthier relationships. The best way to address selfishness is by nurturing relationships where both parties share support and uplift each other. These relationships create a balanced exchange of energy, reinforcing the importance of mutual respect. You deserve to live in relationships where your feelings and efforts are acknowledged, not dismissed. By identifying and prioritizing such healthy relationships, you build a support system aligned with your values, improving your quality of life. Stoic philosophy reminds us to face challenges with clarity and calmness. Recognizing selfish behavior is not about cultivating resentment, but about protecting yourself and growing. When you observe these behaviors, take them as signals to prioritize peace and seek connections that truly value you. As Seneca said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you can improve. Men learn while they teach." By doing this, you'll find strength in meaningful relationships and the resilience to leave those unworthy of your time. Through awareness and action, you can transform your relationships, ensuring that your time and energy are devoted to those who genuinely care. In doing so, you honor the Stoic principle of living purposefully and respecting your own values. Layer of human interaction through the lens of Stoic philosophy. Number 3. Inconsistent effort. Try to recall a situation where you spent hours preparing a dinner to connect with someone, only for them to cancel at the last minute without any explanation. Or perhaps you poured your heart out, sharing your deepest sorrows, only to receive a disinterested nod in return. Such indifference and inconsistent effort not only weaken relationships, but also make you question your self-worth. These actions reflect not just a lack of care, but at times emotional manipulation. The story of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and renowned Stoic philosopher, offers a striking example. In his personal letters, he recounted friendships he once trusted, only to realize those individuals sought to exploit his power. Instead of despairing, Marcus wrote, "The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane." His story reminds us that not everyone in your life will reflect your worth, and letting go of misplaced expectations is the first step in protecting your self-esteem. In any relationship, genuine care manifests not in empty words, but in persistent and consistent actions. Those who truly care will strive to be present during pivotal moments. They are the companions who stand by you, not only in your successes, but also in your failures. Without consistent effort, trust erodes, and the foundation of any relationship crumbles. Stoicism teaches us that stability lies in how we respond to injustice or indifference from others. When you notice instability in a relationship's efforts, ask yourself, does this relationship bring me the peace and respect I deserve? You deserve relationships built on mutual respect, where both parties are committed to nurturing the connection. Never let neglect make you doubt your worth. Those who genuinely care will never make you feel like you are struggling alone. Remember, you are valuable enough to demand fairness and consistency from those around you. Emotional manipulators often exploit your sensitivity to control you. They play the victim, making you feel guilty even when you've done nothing wrong. This is not care but behavior rooted in selfishness and deceit. Such people bring only exhaustion and weaken your spirit. Once again, Stoicism reminds us to let go of expectations and focus on what we can control, our actions and our values. Cherish yourself and choose companions who bring balance and inspiration to your life. As Seneca once said, associate with people who are likely to improve you. Don't let anyone dim your worth through indifference or selfishness. Have the strength to walk away from relationships that don't deserve you and seek meaningful connections instead. Have you ever experienced a relationship with such signs of instability? Share your story or the lessons you've learned so we can discuss them further. Number 4. Emotional manipulation. Have you ever felt like you're trying your best to please someone, but no matter how hard you try, it's never enough? You wonder if you're doing something wrong, or if the other person is playing an emotional manipulation game. This isn't just your story. Emotional manipulation is a subtle tactic often used by people who don't genuinely care about you to gain control over you. Emotional manipulation doesn't typically begin with direct confrontation. Instead, it sneaks in cleverly through fake compliments or appeals to your compassion. Manipulators know how to make you feel guilty if you refuse them or create the impression that you owe them something. For instance, they might exaggerate the sacrifices they've made for you and use those as bargaining chips to get you to comply with their wishes. One common tactic is withholding affection when you do something they dislike. They may become cold, silent, or act deeply hurt, causing you to second-guess your actions. Manipulators constantly sow seeds of doubt, making you question yourself. Am I really at fault? Am I not good enough? Imagine you have a close friend named Alex. At first, Alex always seems willing to help and genuinely cares about you. When you're in trouble, he's there with empathetic advice. However, things start to change when you realize Alex's help always comes with strings attached. Once, Alex helped you organize a birthday party. Everything went well, but afterward, he repeatedly reminded you of his efforts. "If it weren't for me, that party would have been a disaster," he'd say with a smile you weren't sure was sincere or mocking. Later, Alex began demanding payback by asking you to do things you didn't want to, like canceling a date to attend an event he was hosting. When you refused, Alex acted cold and distant, making you feel like an ungrateful friend. Gradually, you realized that all of Alex's help was aimed at emotionally manipulating you. You felt drained, lost confidence in yourself, and even started doubting whether you were a good friend. To break free from this cycle, it's crucial to recognize the signs of manipulation. A healthy relationship will never make you question your self-worth. Remember that your feelings are valid. They are not tools for others to exploit. Stoic philosophy teaches us that maintaining emotional peace is a fundamental right. Epictetus once said, "It's not things that upset us, but our judgments about things." Stop letting manipulators control how you feel. Instead, establish clear boundaries. These boundaries are not meant to exclude others, but to protect your core values and self-esteem. You deserve relationships based on respect and sincerity. Your worth is not determined by how others treat you, but by how you evaluate yourself. Invest your time and energy in people who truly appreciate you, those who help you grow and make you feel safe. An effective way to combat manipulation is to let go of people who are no longer a good fit. This doesn't mean abandoning kindness or patience. It means prioritizing yourself over toxic relationships. Take a moment to reflect on your relationships. Who among the people around you makes you feel inadequate or constantly demands sacrifices without genuinely caring about your feelings? Don't be afraid to set boundaries and demand respect. The next step in this journey is recognizing another sign of people who do not care about you: betrayal of trust. Betrayal is a deeper wound, and we will explore how Stoic philosophy can help you stay resilient after experiencing betrayal. Number 5. Betrayal of trust. Trust is an invisible yet powerful thread that connects people in any relationship. It is the foundation upon which we build safety, authenticity, and the capacity to open our hearts to one another. But what happens when trust is betrayed? It's not just a heartbreaking event, it is a profound fissure in the soul. As Stoic philosophy reminds us, how we respond to betrayal not only shapes our present emotions, but also defines our self-worth in the future. In any relationship, trust is a prerequisite for fostering a genuine connection. When you trust someone, you place a part of your heart and emotions in their hands. This means you grant them the power to either build or destroy your safe space. Trust is like a mirror. Once shattered, even if repaired, the cracks remain. Therefore, when promises are broken or truths are distorted, the very foundation of the relationship begins to falter. Even a small lie plants seeds of doubt, creates a pattern of distrust, and leads to eventual collapse. Betraying trust is akin to driving a knife into the heart of a relationship. The wound may heal, but the scar remains a permanent reminder of the pain endured. The consequences of betrayal extend beyond the rupture of a relationship. They deeply affect the psyche of the betrayed individual. Often, the betrayed person questions themselves, "What did I do wrong?" However, the reality is that betrayal reflects a lack of appreciation by the betrayer, not the worth of the one betrayed. Recognizing this truth is the first step toward reclaiming self-respect. Lance Armstrong, the legendary cyclist, was once a symbol of extraordinary resilience, overcoming cancer and winning multiple Tour de France titles. However, revelations about his use of performance-enhancing drugs shattered the trust of millions of fans worldwide. Those who once believed in Armstrong's story felt not only deceived, but also disillusioned about the integrity of sports. Yet this incident reminds us that betrayal does not diminish the value of those who placed their trust. Instead, it exposes the dishonesty of the betrayer. Stoic philosophy teaches us that while we cannot control others' actions, we can control our reactions. If trust is repeatedly broken, it takes courage to reevaluate the relationship. Ask yourself, is this person truly deserving of my trust and time? Walking away is not a failure. It is a means of protecting your self-worth. A sustainable relationship requires not just sincerity, but also continuous effort, not through grand gestures, but through consistent presence and small acts of appreciation. Remember, trust is the most precious gift you can offer someone. Do not squander it on those who fail to value it. Betrayal may be a painful lesson, but it is also an opportunity to reassess your worth and seek relationships that truly deserve your trust. Guard your trust as you would guard your heart, for when it is given to the right person, a relationship can become enduring and profoundly meaningful. Have you ever felt your trust was betrayed? How did you overcome the pain and learn to protect yourself? Share your story in the comments section, as every experience holds valuable lessons for our community. Number 6. Lack of support. You deserve to be at the center of your relationships, not as a tool or a supporting character in someone else's story. A lack of support from those around you is not just a sign of indifference. It reveals a significant imbalance in the relationship. Stoic philosophy reminds us that self-worth stems from recognizing our value and choosing to surround ourselves with those who appreciate it. In every sustainable relationship, support is the foundation for building trust and understanding. People who truly care about you don't just offer empty words of encouragement. Their actions prove their sincerity. They don't need to be asked to help. They are there when you need them, even when it's inconvenient. When a relationship lacks support, especially during tough times, it reflects your real priority level in the other person's life. A relationship without support is like an unfinished bridge. It lacks completion and the ability to connect, leaving you feeling isolated and abandoned. What will someone who truly cares about you do when you face difficulties? The answer lies in their actions. Their presence, no matter how small, can ease your stress and remind you that you are not alone. Consider the case of Emily, a young woman facing a career crisis. After losing her job due to company downsizing, Emily shared her struggles with her close group of friends, hoping for support. Among them was Alex, whom she considered her closest friend. Alex responded with vague promises. "I'll help when I have time." But weeks went by, and Alex took no steps to assist, showing indifference even when Emily brought up her situation. In contrast, Michael, a long-lost friend, heard about Emily's predicament and immediately reached out. He spent time helping her update her resume and connected her with industry colleagues. What was the difference between Alex and Michael? It was genuine support reflected in action. While Alex offered kind words without real intention, Michael demonstrated care through his presence and practical assistance. Emily learned an important lesson. She didn't need to maintain relationships lacking support simply because of shared history or familiarity. Michael's actions helped her realize that people who truly care are always ready to help, without reasons or conditions. Ask yourself, am I maintaining relationships that leave me feeling drained and empty? You have every right to let go of relationships that don't provide support, making room for those who are willing to walk alongside you on life's journey. This isn't just an act of self-respect, but a powerful step toward balance and inner peace. Those who don't support you, whether through indifference or avoidance of responsibility, subtly cause you to question your worth. But Stoic philosophy reminds us that your value doesn't depend on others' recognition. Prioritize relationships where support flows naturally, without requests or conditions. The lack of support may be noticeable, but consistent absence is often more dangerous. It quietly erodes trust and harms you from within. How can you recognize and address this absence without letting it affect your emotions and self-esteem? Let's explore this further in the next section, where we'll delve into consistent absence, the behavior that undermines relationships you once believed to be solid. Number 7. Consistent absence. In a healthy relationship, respect is not only the foundation, but also the core that builds trust, love, and understanding. A lack of respect equates to breaking these values, making it impossible for the relationship to grow sustainably. One of the clearest signs of disrespect is continuous absence, not just physical, but also emotional. This is a silent, yet powerful behavior that signals you are not a priority to the other person. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." This quote encourages us to focus on actions rather than words, a particularly important lesson when dealing with people who are inconsistent in their presence. Those who truly care about you will demonstrate their concern through actions, not excuses or empty promises. Presence is not merely about being physically face-to-face, but also about feeling heard and accompanied. Someone who genuinely cares will always find a way to be there when you need them, even in the smallest moments. This does not mean they must abandon all personal responsibilities, but rather prioritize you appropriately, shown through small but consistent actions. Conversely, continuous absence is a silent yet clear reminder that you are not a priority. These individuals may cite excuses like being busy, work pressure, or simply forgetting, but their actions speak louder than words. This is not merely an issue of time, it is a matter of value. Someone who truly values you will not let their presence become a privilege you must beg for. Imagine a real-life story. Renowned writer Virginia Woolf once shared the deep pain she felt when those close to her failed to be present during crucial moments. Woolf, an emotionally profound writer, wrote in her diary that she felt as though she was not important enough to draw anyone closer. Their absence not only made her feel lonely, but also wounded her self-esteem. This is a valuable lesson. If someone's presence is inconsistent, do not blame yourself, for the issue lies not with you, but with their lack of respect. Each of us deserves a minimum level of respect, to have our emotions acknowledged, our voice heard, and our boundaries respected. If a relationship cannot meet these basics, it is not a relationship worth keeping. Remember that allowing others to treat you indifferently is equivalent to abandoning your own value. Firmly and gently reject disrespect, not to punish them, but to protect yourself. One of the greatest challenges is accepting the painful truth that someone may not care about you as much as you wish. This is not easy, but it is necessary to maintain self-worth and inner peace. In such circumstances, your response is key. Will you cling to a superficial relationship, or will you choose to walk away with dignity and self-respect? Face the truth. If someone is consistently absent, they are sending a message that you are not a priority. This message should not be ignored. Sometimes the only way to free yourself is to accept this truth, let go of what is unworthy, and allow that space to be filled with better relationships. Continuous absence is not an accidental act. It is a conscious choice, and it speaks volumes about how much or how little you matter to them. Instead of trying to change their thoughts or actions, focus on your own value. You deserve genuine presence, authentic care, and relationships that respect you for who you are. In the journey of building self-esteem and happiness, letting go is sometimes not a failure, but a sign of inner strength. Hold on to your dignity and open your heart only to those who truly deserve your presence. Number 8. Lack of respect. Respect is the foundation of any sincere relationship, and its absence is marked by indifference, disregard for feelings, and violations of personal boundaries. The renowned Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." When someone disrespects you, they often place themselves in a position of superiority, believing that your opinions, feelings, and boundaries are not worth considering. This is not just a sign of indifference, but an act that erodes your dignity. Those who do not truly care about you often ignore your opinions, belittle your emotions, and overstep your boundaries. These are not random acts, but profound indicators of disrespect. Ignoring your opinions is not merely a disagreement, it is a declaration that your perspective has no value. Mocking your emotions undermines your confidence in yourself, and when they violate your boundaries, they deny your right to control and define who you are. Ignoring opinions often happens in seemingly harmless conversations. Have you ever noticed yourself trying to contribute to a discussion only to be met with silence or a swift change of topic by the other person? This is a clear sign of being sidelined. Take, for example, a meeting at a large company where a young employee presents a creative solution to an ongoing issue. However, their manager simply ignores it and continues discussing their own ideas. Weeks later, this employee's idea is presented by a colleague and receives praise. Being ignored not only makes them feel invisible, but also diminishes their confidence in their own value. Emotions are a core part of what makes us human. When they are dismissed or mocked, it not only causes pain, but also leads us to doubt ourselves. Recognizing this can be empowering. Those who disregard your feelings often aim to unbalance you. Imagine a close friend constantly mocking you every time you share your sadness or concerns, calling you too sensitive. Over time, you might begin to feel like you're overreacting, doubting the validity of your emotions. This not only damages your self-esteem, but also weakens your inner confidence. Personal boundaries are not just limits. They are clear expressions of individual value. When boundaries are ignored, it is not just a matter of feeling violated. It is a glaring sign of a lack of respect. Respect does not mean agreeing with every opinion or feeling, but rather acknowledging the value and right of others to be heard. When you notice someone disrespecting you, remember that your dignity does not depend on how they perceive you, but on how you perceive yourself. Stoic philosophy reminds us of the power of maintaining our self-worth, even in the face of contempt. The key is not allowing others' actions to define you. Those who do not care for you reveal themselves through their disrespectful behavior. This not only influences how you view the relationship, but also shapes your perception of your own worth. Remember, silence, composure, and the maintenance of boundaries are not just tools for protecting dignity. They are powerful declarations of self-respect. In Stoic philosophy, true strength comes from mastering oneself, and this begins with a clear recognition of your intrinsic value. Thus, through the 8 behaviors we've just analyzed, we hope you now have a clearer understanding of the signs from people who may not truly care about you. More importantly, the lesson from Stoicism reminds us that instead of being hurt by how others treat us, we should focus on controlling our reactions and nurturing inner peace. Self-worth does not come from how others treat you, but from how you treat yourself. Now think about the situations you've experienced. Has anyone in your life ever exhibited one of these 8 behaviors? How did you handle it? Share your story in the comments section below. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you found this content helpful, don't forget to hit like to support us. Share this video with friends to spread the value, and subscribe to our channel to never miss our upcoming videos. New content will continue to help you explore Stoic philosophy and build a stronger, more balanced life. Click on the recommended videos now to continue your journey. Thank you for watching.